Welcome to the Foster Farmhouse. I'm Susan and I'm here in my yard this morning, this beautiful spring morning, and I'm going to be doing some spring cleanup. I've already been doing a bunch in the last few weeks, getting ready for my son's wedding in May. So I was going around the yard and raking up the flower beds and cutting down it when it's brown, cut it down, and just getting plants ready to be coming up. And I have tulips I see coming up right now, and my daffodils are, some of them are already blooming. Just a few are blooming right now, but I'm going to have a lot more bloom soon. And my husband did 98% of the project, but we've been putting down pavers, some flagstone pavers that I'm so excited about, and I want to take you along and show you. But first I'm going to be doing some spring cleanup, doing some mowing, picking up the debris because we had a huge windstorm, and just getting things cleaned up, and then I'll be showing you some of the projects we're going to be working on. So as you can see, I just took that little rake attached to my mower and I went around the yard, and I just want to show you I have like an acre's worth of lawn, so instead of doing it all by hand, it just kind of rakes up all that dead thatch. And they say you don't need to thatch it, that aerating it is better, but I found that I need to do both once in a while. I hadn't thatched my lawn in years, and I noticed there was a lot of thatch underneath the new growth, and I just decided, you know, I'm just going to take our little rake that's attached to our mower and go over it. And I did that last year, and my lawn was so much thicker and healthier. So I'm doing it again this year. I didn't do the entire lawn, but I did areas where it looked like there was a lot of thatch in there. And I'm just going to go over it now with my other mower, which will break all that down and just let it go into the soil, which is good for the soil. So just to show you, I wanted to show you I've got two huge bucket loads of dead grass that would be thatch, that would be in the lawn. And so now just giving the lawn a little bit more air to get in there, and to breathe, and for the water and the nutrients to get into the lawn and help the roots grow strong and deep. So, you know, you have to take a look at your lawn. If you live in a climate like I do, I'm in zone 5 and it snows here in the winter. That snow sits on the ground and just kind of, and I try, I do mow right into November, my lawn, but even then it's very thick and a lot of that stuff just sits on there and just lays down flat and just kind of chokes out the grass if you don't thatch it once in a while. I wouldn't say you have to do it every year, but if you haven't done it in a while, I would recommend you doing it. And aerating it is really important too. So I'm going to put this in my garden around the pathways between my market garden so that it helps suppress the weeds. So here's a project that my husband did, that I've been just dreaming about for a long time, is what he laid down all these flagstone pavers, and it's a coffee cowboy paver. That's what they called it. I love the gray slate of it, and it's got a little bit of coloring in there, and I just thought it was really nice. And he laid it down, and it goes all the way to the new barn that he built over a year ago. And I'm going to be doing a bunch of planting. Eventually I'd like to rip out this grass to make this bed bigger, but for this year I'm going to keep it like this. And I did go around with my edger and I edged it, and I'm going to pull the pieces of grass and get rid of that and just clean up the bed and put some compost down. And on that, as I see that there's new growth growing on there, so I'm excited about that. This must bloom on old wood, so I don't think I'll need to trim that back. I've got lavender in here, and I always plant, last year I planted cosmos, which I'm going to do, and I bought some hollyhocks that I think will be very pretty growing up above the fence line. And so I'm going to get this all cleaned up. I'm thinking right here, planting some ferns, maybe some hostas with some flowers in there, some perennials. And I was thinking of getting a whiskey barrel and kind of digging a hole in there and just kind of planting it down in there and making it a little pond. So here I am a few days later after I did that other video. I told you I was going to do a bunch of yard work, and I do have stuff I'm going to be doing. Excuse my mess. I've been out in the yard and working, and I'm a dirty mess, but I wanted to show you some of the things that we got done since I showed you the video last. So here are the flower beds that I had edged it with my edger and took out the clumps of grass, and I put down some, it's a nice mulch. It's a soil conditioner, and you can use it as a mulch, and so it'll be good for the soil and build it up, and it'll also protect the plants, the roots, and keep things more moist when we water. And I love this little bird bath that my daughter made out of big rhubarb leaf, and I placed it right there. And we cleaned up all the flower beds all the way down along the fence line here. And I noticed that I've got tulips popping up out of the ground, so I'm so excited because I planted tulips in here last fall. And so it's all cleaned all the way down, and then this way to my right, I am cleaning this whole area up, getting it ready. Just put we had a little bit of mulch left, soil conditioner left, so we put it there, but I'm gonna finish it all out in this area here. And I bought a rose, and I'm gonna be planting this, and it's such a pretty color. It's kind of like a mauve, lavender, purpley color, and it's supposed to be very fragrant, and it blooms all summer long, so I'm really excited about that. And it was an award-winning rose called Climbing Angel Face, and I got it at Home Depot, and it was a good deal, and I thought I'm just gonna try it out and see how it grows. I bought other roses that are from a local store here. It's very expensive. They have antique roses, and I love that place, but it's a lot more expensive, and I just want to try out some other roses, see how well they do compared to those. And that seemed like a really pretty rose. So, and I wrapped the tree with a wrap to protect it because some kind of animal came and was eating the bark. So I got that done, and I'm going to start a new project here. And as you can see, I brought my mule over here, but I'm going to make this into a little pond. I got some plants that I'm going to dig a hole in the ground and kind of set it in there as a little pond. And I got a fountain right here that I'm going to be doing a fountain kit, so we'll have some water, a water feature in this area. So I'll let you come along and watch me do that. So here I am, done with my little water fountain feature that I want to water, and I put these rocks up close to where a frog or something can get into the water and enjoy it. And when I'm going to go to a store called Northwest Seed and Pet here where I live, and I'm going to be putting some lily pads in there, maybe some goldfish or something so they can swim in there, and just have a nice water feature. And I'm going to continue getting bark and just putting it all across this way, like here, so that I have a continuation of ferns that I want to plant just right in here, because it gets a lot of shade and it will just make it soft. And right here is my potting bench that Tim made me, and I just love the primroses and the little pansies and daffodils in there, and I just think it's so cute for springtime. And this is a redwood tree that my best friend Annie's son made for me for Christmas, and I love it. I'm going to, Tim makes a table to put under the patio that we just made. I want that to be a lazy Susan in the middle of the table, but for now it's there, and I'm gonna be hanging up a bunch of potted plants along here. It's still cold, so I can't plant that. And I got this cute, can you see it? It's pretty shaded. It's hard to see, but there. I just think it's so cute. Birdhouse. I just loved it. So, and then over here, our plans are to have a greenhouse right here. I gotta make sure that it gets enough sun during the day, which it does in the summer, but the winter months I have to make sure it gets sunshine. But we're gonna finish painting this white to match everything, and then he's gonna do a lean-to greenhouse for me, so I can just go right into my greenhouse and do my potting bench to my greenhouse and grow all kinds of things in my greenhouse. And this will be lined with ferns, kind of matching this feel here. Because it's kind of shaded here, and I planted some hostas and some grass that likes partly shade. It gets a little bit of sun during the day, so there's some grasses and ferns and hostas and some little ground covers that I planted along here. And I'm just really excited about it, and I can hear it and listen. It's just very peaceful. So anyways, and then right up here will be this hanging basket, and I'm going to be putting some planters on the walls here, some pots and some big trellises, and just plant some climbing annual vines just for the spring and summertime to soften this wall. So I think it's just going to be so pretty. Looking out at the trees here that are anchored on each side, and here on the patio, looking out onto the property. And when it's all done, it's just going to be so peaceful. And that new water feature, you can sit in here. And the chickens, so there'll be a pathway here towards the chickens, and then out this way, and flower beds all around the chicken coop. And this will be all a whole new flower bed here, going all starting from there, going around and meeting to the post. And I'm really excited because we're going to grow things along the fence. And that rose I haven't planted. I think I'll do it tomorrow. I'm tired. But here's the other tree. It's so pretty when it leaves out. So, and then it'll be close to my vegetable garden, and those things will start growing in there. And I got to clean up all around here in front of the vegetable garden. There's a lot of weeds, and decide what I want to do with that area, because we put down weed cloth and bark, and still things are just growing in the bark. So I got to figure out what to do with that. But for now, I got my water feature done. I'm so excited. I think it's just going to be really pretty here all the way down when I continue with the ferns, and I can be doing potting up my plants and things and hearing the pretty water feature, or sitting here on the patio looking out, and this wisteria, it made it through the winter because I see some new growth coming in. I'm pretty sure it looks like it survived the winter. Let me see if it's green. I hope it did. Oh, there's some green in there. I don't know. Anyways, I hope it survived, and so we'll have the wisteria grow up and around and over. And I don't know if you're familiar with wisteria, but it has beautiful grape-like flowers that just hang down, and then all of this will be planted up with beautiful cosmos, and there's roses and clematises and lavender, and over here the same thing against the fence line. And then out here will be, I think maybe I'll plant some drought tolerant flowers. I've got some in there that I have to plant because it won't get a whole lot of, I'll have some watering. I think I might try to connect to the garden and do a drip tubing system in here. So we'll see. And then I was thinking of, from that spigot there, having to dig a trench and putting tubing over through here and just doing all this drip from there. So we'll see what we can do. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little video, and I will see you later.